What we're working on here is a mock-up for an 80-foot motor yacht. And we build these mock-ups as an example of the boat. It gives people a three-dimensional walk through their custom project. The reason for that is that people will look for days and hours and weeks and months while they're developing the design of the boat. But because these boats are a custom project, they've never been built before, the owners oftentimes need to experience that three-dimensional look to understand what they're actually going to get when they're finished with the project. So we always recommend building a mock-up. And a mock-up is, as you see it here, it's a cardboard plywood boat, but it gives the people a feel for the space that they've been working on and envisioning for years. And it gives them the ability to walk through it, sit in the seats, feel the spaces, and decide if this is really what they want. This particular mock-up is a good example of why we do this. This mock-up was built on a 2 feet smaller about 3 weeks ago. The owners came, visited the mock-up, went through everything, and their particular attention was towards the pilot house space. But the pilot house space was, again, 2 feet smaller, and because of that, everything felt really tight. And they had envisioned using the pilot house quite a bit. You're up high, you're looking around, and it's a space you want to be able to move around in quite easily and be able to relax and entertain in. So as a result of the mock-up review, they decided to lengthen the pilot house 2 feet. And you can do that, but that has consequences. So when you lengthen the pilot house 2 feet, it actually has a ripple out through the boat, and the whole hull was therefore added 2 feet to the length of the hull. And then we have to decide where is that 2 feet going to go into the boat. In this case, they decided to put it into the aft deck and the cockpit because they're going to do a lot of fishing and entertaining in the aft deck. The main salon was large enough and the galley was large enough. So we've lengthened this mock-up of the pilot house by 2 feet. And we're about to lengthen the mezzanine deck or the upper aft deck by 14 inches and the cockpit or aft cockpit by 10 inches to give us our 2 feet. And then we have to increase the overhang on those decks by 2 feet because that is actually the pilot house or pilot deck that gets lengthened. So, but all this is really worthwhile because if they hadn't done this, if they hadn't done the mock-up, they would have ended up spending 2 years of their lives building a custom project and in the end really not been happy with the result. And that's really a tragedy when that happens. So yeah, the mock-up costs a little less than 0.5% of the total cost of the boat, but it is so worth it because changes can be made, and changes are made throughout, and it not only helps the owners, but it helps the yard also where they're building the boat come up to the mock-up in the beginning and get a sense of what they're building and the size and the details that are involved. Because we actually do some of the details in the mock-ups that, like our davit right here, for example, which is a $30,000 product when it's in real life, but now it's about a $30 product out of cardboard and plywood. But they can sit in these seats, they can see the davit here. We're going to put a dinghy out here so they can sit in the seat and they're going to see what they're actually going to be able to see in real life while setting up on the pilot deck.